What's up guys, thanks for joining for another C10 video. In this video we are going to be working on the front core support. We are going to make this front core support mount to the stock core support mounts on the Tahoe. For those of you just joining us, this is a square body C10. We are mounting it on a 2001 Tahoe frame. So we're having some challenges for obvious reasons. Unlike the cab, I'm not going to be building my own mounts for the cab. I'm actually going to use these stock supports. It's going to be way easier. This is where the stock support bolts in, and it's right on the edge of the frame, so a bolt won't be able to go down through it. It's not worth dealing with and trying to cut and redo. I'm actually going to cut a little section out of the radiator support here, so that way it doesn't touch this body mount. Once we do that, I'm going to weld the plate flat against this radiator mount, and then we can bolt it right onto this cab support, then build some brackets for it and stuff like that. It should be really easy, shouldn't take too long. Just a couple pieces of metal both sides. There's only the two support mounts, and then the whole front of the cab and core will be completely bolted to the frame. Alright, so here you can see we have both of those holes cut out so the donuts can fit in them. I'm just going to grind them out a little bit and hand file them just because of the burrs from the plasma cutter, and then we'll get it mounted back up and make sure it fits. Alright, so here you can see I have these L brackets. These are actually already cut off of the first rear cab mount that I was making. The reason why they're not touching right here is it's not that this cut isn't straight. If you look closely, it's actually tilted back. So the front of the truck is flat, and then this inner metal piece right here is at an angle. It's so that they can fit the headlights and the bezels back there. Here you can see it like that. As you see, it is at an angle, so that's not a big deal. I can fill that in just fine. right, so here I have them just slightly welded in. I'm gonna clean them up a little bit and reinforce them. For the meantime, I'm gonna take off this front radiator support so that way it's easier to get to all the welds. That makes sure I weld the backside, stuff like that. So before I took it all apart, I just wanted to throw this wheel well in. It actually fits in there really well. I didn't have to trim really anything. I thought I was gonna have to trim around this shock mount for sure, and maybe around the frame, but all this fit in really well. Let's see. Mount somewhere in here. I don't have it completely bolted in. And then as you can see, if I lift right here, that's where I had to clearance it right there. It was sitting on the frame. I had to cut this piece out. Just kind of was like this. Just went across. Which that piece is pretty rusted anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. But it's looking really good, and I'm super excited.